In 2003, Warner Bros. Stopped releasing animated movies in cinemas because their movies didn't perform well at the box office, which was because the movies themselves didn't get the advertising they needed. The last animated movie they released was Looney Tunes Back in Action, but then they returned to animation under the name the Warner Animation Group, and their first movie to be released was in 2014. I'm talking, of course, about the Lego Movie. At first, people thought it was going to be a dumb ad campaign for a very successful product. But then when it came out, people loved it, and I claim it to be, in my opinion, the best animated movie of 2014. Sorry, I had to Train Your Dragon 2. Now we're in 2019, and we get a sequel to the Lego Movie titled The Lego Movie 2, the second part. Is everything still awesome? Or has the Lego Movies overstayed its welcome? Let's find out. This is my review on the Lego Movie 2. The story of this movie takes place straight after the events of the first Lego Movie. Lego Duplo comes to the world of the main characters and destroys the entire city. 5 years later, we see the world in ruins and everyone has toughened up since the events. Apart from Emmett. One day, something new shows up and scans the area and comes in contact with Emmett, Wildstyle, and Unikitty, so they head to Batman's hideout, and the mysterious new thing is a different type of Lego figure named General Mayhem, who takes Wildstyle, Unikitty, Batman, Metalbeard, and Betty to a place called the Star System, where they meet Queen Whatever Wanabe for a big wedding event. Meanwhile, Emmett takes off in his house spaceship and comes in contact with Rex Dangerous, who is also played by Chris Pratt, and agrees to teach Emmett how to be serious and a man, while also trying to save Wildstyle and the others. This is a pretty great continuation to the first movie, as it started right as the first movie ended, much like Incredibles 2 did. There was a lot of enjoyable moments, and even some great jokes. There's one that is awful. People who saw the movie and saw Wreck-It Ralph 2 will know. There was even a plot twist which was done well, as I wasn't expecting it. In the trailers it looked like it was going to be the battle of the sexes, but it's actually the battle of the ages, especially when it comes to the live action scenes. Oh yeah, there's live action scenes in this movie too, more than the first movie, and they're pretty decent, and I can see where they were going with this. While I did find a lot of this movie enjoyable, I still think the first Lego Movie was better. I will say it is very close, but not there just yet. One of the things that makes me think the first movie is better is because some moments from the movie feels like a copy and paste thing from the first one. Though not everything in this movie that was copy and pasted from the first one was bad, as I could still have the same enjoyment, but it was very noticeable. There is character development in this movie, which is mainly coming from characters like Wildstyle, Emmett, Rex, and the characters from the Star System. Emmett has this development of wanting to become serious after losing Wildstyle and when meeting Rex. Yeah, it's alright, but it kind of feels like how when Emmett was going to be the special in the first movie. Rex's character development isn't very big, but there's enough to say that he has character development, at least when we see him for the first time. It's when we get to the third act is where he gets more character development. Wildstyle has a bit of a secret thing going on, and it's hard to talk about them without spoiling the movie, but I will say it was surprising to discover this stuff about the character, and the love of Wildstyle and Emmett is pretty sweet when it's on screen. Other characters like Unikitty, Batman, and the rest are pretty much the same as they were in the first movie, so there really isn't much to them to talk about. Then there's the star characters. They're all happy and jolly all the time, and it's quite funny to see these characters on screen. General Mayhem was interesting, but there wasn't much of a development with her, so that was a bit lacking. And then there's Queen Whatever Wanabe. You think she's a villain, but she isn't actually the villain, even when she points it out. She's pretty funny, and I enjoy her on screen. The animation is great. I really love the animation in these movies, where it's CG animation, but it acts like stop motion. It's better than those direct-to-DVD Lego movies where they aren't even showing that they're Lego. to know that these guys get it. I even think it's an improvement from the previous movies, but only by a little bit. There's a few songs in this movie, and they're all enjoyable, even if they'll get stuck inside your head. I know they have with me. The other tracks are pretty great too, especially the action-packed stuff. I'm a sucker for it. Overall, the LEGO Movie 2 is a great follow-up to the first movie. I wouldn't say it's better than the first movie, but it is very close to doing so. I will say it's better than the LEGO Batman and Ninjago. If you're a fan of the LEGO Movie, you'll have a blast with this movie. Check it out if you haven't already. So I've talked about 3 animated movies this year. How about we do a live action movie? Hey screen, tell me what's next. Alrighty. Stay tuned for the next review, everyone, as I enter back into the MCU with Captain Marvel. Take care.